Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if we're truly alone? For centuries, this question has fueled our imagination, our science, and our dreams. We've sent probes into the vast emptiness of space, listening for a whisper, a signal, anything to tell us we're not the only ones. But what if the answer wasn't a signal, but a visitor? What if an alien didn't arrive in a shiny saucer, but as a silent traveler, disguised as a comet? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most bizarre and controversial objects ever to enter our solar system. 3I Atlas. Some astronomers think it was just a strange comet, but others, looking at the evidence, have proposed a far more radical, spine-tingling theory that 3I Atlas wasn't a rock, but a living, breathing alien organism. So what is 3I Atlas? Discovered in December 2019 by the Atlas Survey in Hawaii, it was initially classified as a comet. Its full name is 3I 2019 Q4, with the I standing for Interstellar, meaning it came from outside our solar system. This was only the second such object ever confirmed after the famous Oumuamua. At first, it behaved like a typical comet. As it got closer to the sun, it started to brighten, developing a faint coma, a cloud of gas and dust. Astronomers around the world trained their telescopes on it, excited to study a pristine piece of another star system. But then things got weird, really weird. Its behavior started to defy all known cometary science, leading to a series of anomalies that have left scientists scratching their heads. And that's where our story begins. Let's break down the 5 shocking anomalies that led some to believe we were witnessing not just a comet, but a cosmic creature. First up, anomaly number 1, the unexplained brightening. Normal comets get brighter as they approach the sun. The sun's heat vaporizes their ice, creating a larger and more reflective coma and tail. 3I Atlas did this, but it went into overdrive. In early 2020, its brightness surged dramatically, becoming thousands of times brighter in just a matter of weeks. This was far more extreme than expected for a comet of its size. It was as if someone had flipped a switch and turned on a celestial spotlight. Scientists scrambled for an explanation. Maybe it had a large pocket of highly volatile ice that had just been exposed. Or maybe a chunk had broken off, creating a fresh, reflective surface. But the rate of brightening was so rapid and intense, it didn't quite fit the standard models. It was our first clue that 3I Atlas was no ordinary visitor. It was behaving erratically, almost unpredictably. This leads us to anomaly number 2, the sudden disintegration. Just as astronomers were marveling at its incredible brightness, 3I Atlas did something even more shocking. It fell apart. In April 2020, long before it reached its closest point to the sun, the Hubble Space Telescope captured stunning images of the comet fragmenting into dozens of smaller pieces. Now, comets do break up. It happens. But it usually happens when they get very close to the sun, where the intense heat and gravitational forces tear them apart. 3I Atlas disintegrated when it was still farther away from the sun than Mars. The thermal stress and gravitational pull just weren't strong enough to explain this catastrophic failure. It was like a ship sinking in calm waters. Why did it shatter so prematurely? This wasn't a slow, graceful crumbling. It was a sudden, violent, and complete collapse. It was a self-destruction that defied our understanding of cometary physics. Which brings us to anomaly number 3, the missing water. This one is a real puzzle. Comets are famously described as dirty snowballs. They're made of rock, dust, and a whole lot of frozen water. When a comet gets near the sun, that water ice turns directly into gas, a process called sublimation, and this is what creates the beautiful coma and tail we see. So you'd expect to find a massive signature of water vapor around 3I Atlas, especially when it was brightening so intensely. But when astronomers pointed their spectrographs at it, the water was conspicuously absent. They found plenty of other molecules, like cyanogen, but the amount of water was incredibly low, far lower than any comet ever observed in our own solar system. How could a comet-like object produce such a brilliant display without the primary fuel source, water? It was like seeing a bonfire with no wood. This profound lack of water seriously challenged its classification as a comet. If it wasn't a dirty snowball, what was it? Now for anomaly number 4, and this is where the alien theory really starts to take shape, the rhythmic pulsing. Before it disintegrated, some observations suggested that the light from 3I Atlas wasn't just getting brighter. It was pulsing. There were reports of regular, periodic fluctuations in its brightness. This is highly unusual for a comet. A spinning, irregularly shaped nucleus can cause brightness to vary, but the reported pulses seemed too regular, too structured. It was almost like a signal. This led to some wild speculation. Could this be an artificial signal? Or, if we lean into the biological theory, could it be something else? Think about living things on Earth. Many creatures, from fireflies to deep-sea jellyfish, use bioluminescence to communicate, attract mates, or ward off predators. Could the pulsing light of 3I Atlas have been a form of biological activity? A cosmic heartbeat, perhaps? A distress signal from a dying creature as it succumbed to the unfamiliar environment of our solar system? It's a breathtaking thought. And finally, anomaly number 5, the organic chemistry. Spectroscopic analysis of the fragments of 3I Atlas revealed something fascinating. While it was low on water, it was rich in complex carbon-based molecules, including cyanogen. Cyanogen is often considered a precursor to some of the building blocks of life, like amino acids. This isn't definitive proof of life, of course. We find organic molecules in many non-living comets and meteorites. But combined with the other anomalies, it paints an intriguing picture. Here we have an object from another star system, behaving in ways we can't explain, breaking apart for no clear reason. Lacking the water we'd expect, possibly pulsing with light, and containing the very chemical ingredients necessary for life. When you put all 5 pieces of the puzzle together, the extreme brightening, the premature disintegration, the missing water, the rhythmic pulsing, and the complex organic chemistry, the standard comet model begins to look less and less adequate. This is where the living alien hypothesis comes in. Proposed by a minority of thinkers in the astronomical community, it's a bold and imaginative attempt to connect the dots. The theory goes something like this. 3I Atlas was not a chunk of rock and ice, but a silicon-based, star-traveling organism. Perhaps a creature that drifts through the cold void of interstellar space, dormant for millennia. As it entered our solar system, the increasing warmth and radiation from our sun acted like an alarm clock. It began to wake up. The unexplained brightening wasn't sublimation. It was a biological reaction. The creature was activating its own internal processes, perhaps generating heat or light, its bioluminescence. The pulsing was its heartbeat, or a form of communication. The complex organic chemistry wasn't just incidental. It was its very flesh and blood. And the disintegration? This is the tragic part of the story. The environment of our inner solar system may have been too hostile. The sun's radiation, the solar wind, it was all too much for a creature adapted to the dark, cold emptiness between stars. It was a fatal shock to its system. The disintegration wasn't a physical shattering. It was the death and decay of a massive cosmic lifeform. The fragments weren't just pieces of rock. They were the decomposing remains of an alien visitor that had traveled for eons, only to perish at our doorstep. It's a sad yet profoundly beautiful idea. We weren't visited by intelligent beings in a ship. We were visited by a piece of interstellar biology, a cosmic whale that strayed too far from its deep, dark ocean. Now, let's be clear. This is a speculative theory. The vast majority of astronomers would argue for more conventional explanations, even if they don't perfectly fit. They might say the disintegration was caused by its own spin, or that it was a very strange, water-poor type of comet we've just never seen before. Science prefers the simplest explanation, and a living comet is anything but simple. But isn't it the job of science to explore all possibilities, especially when the data is so strange? The story of 3I Atlas is a powerful reminder that the universe is far more mysterious and wonderful than we can imagine. Whether it was a dead rock or a dying alien, its brief, spectacular visit left us with more questions than answers. It forces us to confront the possibility that life might not always look like us. It might not build cities or send radio signals. It might just drift silently among the stars, waiting to be discovered. What do you think? Was 3I Atlas just a weird comet that broke the rules, or was it something more? Could we have witnessed the arrival and death of an alien creature without even realizing it? The truth is, we may never know, for sure. The fragments have dissipated, and the chance to study it up close is gone forever. But it has certainly stretched the boundaries of our imagination and will fuel debate for years to come. It's a testament to the fact that every new discovery in space, no matter how small, has the potential to change everything we think we know about our place in the cosmos. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey to the edge of science and imagination. If you enjoyed this cosmic mystery, don't forget to subscribe, And hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. See you next time.